So I feel like there's been this big controversy on the Nintendo subreddit, Reset Era, internet forum, subspace recently over porting Wii U games over from the Wii U over to the Switch. And there's a lot of legitimate points being made here, and I feel like things really need to be cleared up. But it's a messy issue, and I really wanted to talk about it today. Talking about bringing Wii U ports over to the Nintendo Switch, and what exactly the big controversy is here, and what is the right side to be on. So, if you don't really know, Nintendo, since the launch of the Switch, has really been bringing over a ton of games from the Wii U. Bayonetta 1 and 2 came out earlier this past February. Mario Kart 8 has been, Mario Kart 8 came out back last summer, I believe. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is set out to come later this year, same way with Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, just kind of like this culmination of Wii U, and the 3DS version. And Pokken Tournament came out last August as well. Some might claim, like, Splatoon 2, that was a port of the original Wii U version, since they didn't really add too much to make that a more significant game, but I wouldn't say so. I think Splatoon 2 is different enough. All these games, and with the potential for more to come in the future, like, a lot of people are really kind of arguing for Super Mario Maker. Everyone wants a Super Smash Brothers, including me. Super Mario 3D World, possibly Star Fox Zero, although that seems less likely. And there seems to be a big divide about this. As I mentioned, there seems to be people are getting up in arms about these Wii U ports. So on the one side, you have, like, these die-hard Nintendo fans who owned a Wii U. I owned a Wii U, by the way, disclaimer. These die-hard Wii U fans that have all already played these games before. They played Tropical Freeze, they played both of the Bayonettas, they played Mario Kart 8. Fantastic games, but they don't want Nintendo focusing all of their attention on porting these older Wii U games over to the Switch when they could be focusing on new games. Like, obviously Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, those were completely new games. And they want Nintendo to continue along that route and continue making new experiences for the Switch instead of just porting over old experiences from the Wii U era. Now, on the other side of the coin, you have these new Switch owners who haven't really kind of dug into the Nintendo library for years and years and years, since the Wii era or GameCube or N64, whatever it may be. You have these new Switch owners who have never, ever touched these games before. They don't know what the heck Bayonetta is. They played Mario Kart Wii, but didn't really touch Mario Kart 8. They never messed around with Super Mario Maker, never touched Pokken Tournament, all this stuff. And they need to experience these awesome games, this awesome library of Wii U games that almost no one really had the chance to experience. So you have those people. And there's this big clash between the diehard Wii U fans and the newbies, I suppose, if you want to call them, on the internet forums, and it's a debate. It's a big debate on Reset Era and Reddit, especially when you're considering that the Switch has already surpassed the lifetime sales of the Wii U in less than 1 year. Isn't that crazy? I mean, the stakes are incredibly high for the Nintendo Switch. Everybody is following Nintendo now, unlike they have been for the past 5 years? Whenever the Wii U came out, yeah, it'd be like 6 years. Everyone's following Nintendo. They're back in the limelight like they should be. And the stakes are really high. It's seeming like the Switch might even surpass the Wii's sales too, which is absolutely insane. Like, if you were into the gaming industry back in 2007, the Wii was a global phenomenon. And to see the Switch surpass the Wii sales would be absolutely incredible, since the Switch is just so far is seeming like it's so much better than the Wii. Now, you see, here, both sides have legitimate points. If you think about it, there have technically been more first-party ports than there have been original games made by Nintendo on the Switch. Think about it. So, you have Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and 1-2 Switch, and Splatoon 2. And ARMS. Alright. 5 games. Tell me down in the comments if there are any I'm missing out on. I feel like I'm probably forgetting something. 5 games. Now, compare that to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta 2, Pokken Tournament, and to come out are Donkey Kong Country and Hyrule Warriors. That is 6 games right there. So it's a little bit more. That obviously Donkey Kong Country and Hyrule Warriors didn't come out. They haven't come out yet, but they're definitely set to come out. So if nothing else, there seems to be kind of a 1-to-1 match of port to original game, port, original game coming from Nintendo. And that's a major concern, you know, considering that we as gamers want new experiences. We don't want rehashed experiences from the Wii U era, at least entirely. It is a concern. I will say that. That's for sure. Now, you know, you also have to keep in mind that Yoshi and Kirby and Metroid and Pokemon are slated to come out either this year or sometime next year. And in addition, I mean, like, E3's around the corner. There's a ton of potential for newer games. Now, I feel like, kind of reverting back to the Wii U port topic, you do have to look at it from a business standpoint. Honestly, the Wii U sold 13 million units, which in and of itself doesn't sound like a bad number, right? 13 million, that's a lot of people. But when you consider that the PlayStation 4 sold 70 million units and the Xbox One sold 30 million, it's a pretty skimpy number. And I mean, especially considering that the Xbox One and PS4 came out in 2013, a full year after the Wii U did. The Wii U did hardly sold anything. It's just so sad. Not many people had a Wii U, and consequently, not many people had a chance to play the Wii U's fantastic library of games. So, in that sense, the Switch is almost kind of a reset button for Nintendo. It's already, again, surpassed the number of Wii U sales, but in a fifth of the time. And all of the games are having the exact same effect. For example, Mario Kart 8 has sold 8.4 million copies in its 3.5 years on the market, on the Wii U version, you know, that version. 8.4 million copies, highest selling Wii U game ever. Now, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has only been on the market for about 3/4 of a year at this point, and it sold 6 million sales. Just a little bit less than Mario Kart 8 regular did. That's insanity that the Switch version is selling so much more than the Wii U is, than the Wii U version is, at a much faster rate anyways. And Mario Kart 8 was the Wii U's top selling game, period. I mean, if that's not a telltale sign, I don't know what is. You know, just for another example, Pokken Tournament. The deluxe version sold only 300,000 less units on the Switch than on the Wii U version. I believe the Switch version sold about a little more than 1 million copies, and the Wii U version sold 1.3 million. Except the Wii U version came out a year earlier. So, you know, keeping these in mind, it just makes sense for Nintendo to bring these games over. You have to look at this from the point of a business standpoint, that Nintendo and video games are ultimately, at the end of the day, a business. Just like movies. Movie makers, at the end of the day, are in it to make money. Sure, they want to get their Oscar awards and their Academy Awards, but really, it boils down to how many millions of dollars that these movies are making at the box office. So, yeah, it just makes too much sense for Nintendo to port these games over. Wii U didn't get as much attention as they would have liked, and the Switch so far is honestly nailing it out of the park. There is a massive audience of people that are diving into the Nintendo catalog for the first time in years, guys, and they have a lot to catch up on. So, from a pure business model viewpoint, it only makes too much sense to really capitalize on these newcomers who haven't experienced these amazing games yet. And they are amazing games. The Wii U had a fantastic library of games that just no one played. It's so sad. But, you know, of course, not everything is business. I'm talking about this throughout this entire video. I'm talking about it from a business standpoint. Not everything is business. Nintendo, they have to worry more about sales figures and have to worry about maintaining a positive light among their fan base in order to, well, maintain a positive light and continue to be seen well among the gaming community. And speaking personally here, regardless of their business model, I'm totally okay with Nintendo bringing these games over. Honestly, despite having played most of them on Wii U. That's the thing, I have, again, played most of these games on my Wii U in the past. You see, here's the thing. The Switch is just so much more of an enjoyable console. I don't know, like, I feel like you could ask me, or many other people, and they would say the exact same thing, that the Switch, the way that its form factor, the way it can conform to your everyday schedule, you can play it on your TV, you can play it out of the house, you can play it however you want to, and it's so much easier to play everything, and so much more fun. I don't know, like, I'm finding myself enjoying these games so much more on the Nintendo Switch than I ever did on the Wii U, which, you know, I don't know, like, these games, whatever console you play it on, it shouldn't matter, but it does, weirdly, strangely enough. That's like, I guess that's like a side effect of the human emotions, that we get attached to things, we get attached to consoles, we get attached to games, and we want to play our games in a certain way. And I'm hearing that from YouTubers and critics everywhere, that they would rather play a game on the Nintendo Switch than on any other console, simply because that just enjoyability factor is there, and it's nothing short of phenomenal. So yeah, it's just so great. The Switch is just so great, and I'm totally okay with replaying these games again, because they are phenomenal in a better factor than what the Wii U could offer. And that's why I feel that bringing these games over to Switch is perfectly okay. It makes sense from both a business standpoint and a personal standpoint for me as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me down in the comments, what side of the debate do you fall under? Do you think to port or not to port? That is the question. Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you're new to the channel, I am Lincoln264. I talk about everything Nintendo, Nintendo Switch, all that phenomenal, fantastic stuff. And if you're interested, make sure you subscribe to catch all my latest content. Anyways, guys, what are you still doing here?